Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Assistive Technology Group Seminar. My name is Sam Seavey with the Bluegrass Council of the Blind. Thank you so much for joining us. Today, we're going to be talking about really kind of going through the process of changing the voice on your iOS mobile device, whether that's your iPhone or your iPad. And we're going to talk about how to customize the Siri voice and also the VoiceOver voice. And we're going to get a little bit more into detail about that here in a minute. In the meantime, if you guys like this kind of content, you can watch many more of these episodes on our YouTube channel, the Bluegrass Council of the Blind YouTube channel. And if you have any questions or would like to contact us directly, you can definitely do that. You can send us an email, info, I-N-F-O, at bcbky.org. You can also give us a phone call, 859-259-1834, and we'll be happy to help with that. But all right, so let's jump into it. Today on the call, I've got a couple guests, and if they want to jump in and ask questions at any time, they're more than welcome to do that. Until that happens, I'm just going to keep rambling on, but I've got my iPhone here, and I'm going to be showing you guys this on the iPhone, but just keep in mind that it's going to be basically the same operation on an iPad, just on a bigger screen. But the first thing I want to talk about is the difference between Siri and VoiceOver. A lot of people I work with kind of get these two confused, or possibly they think they're the same thing. And they're not. They're completely different. Siri is your personal digital assistant. She's there to help perform tasks for you and get information for you. And something else, real quick side note, is Siri is oftentimes largely underutilized. Siri can do a lot for you, especially for us with low vision. She can make phone calls. She can send and receive text messages, read those out loud to you. She can open up apps, set reminders, set alarms, set timers, write out emails. I mean, really a ton of different things. So explore Siri and try and utilize her a lot more in your daily life. But Siri is different than VoiceOver. VoiceOver is strictly the screen reader on the device. And you can't interact with it, kind of, I guess, directly. It won't give you information, or it won't go out and tell you the phone number for the local Best Buy or anything like that. It won't open up an app for you. It simply reads out loud whatever is on the screen. Now, I shouldn't say you can't interact with it, because you do. You swipe left and right or double tap and all that to interact. But you're not really interacting with VoiceOver, you're interacting with the screen, and VoiceOver is simply reading it out loud. So those two voices, Siri voice and VoiceOver voice, are different. And then just to further confuse, those voices can actually be the same voice. But for me, I like to have them separate just to avoid that confusion. And I'll show you that on my iPad. I've got them separate on my iPad. Currently, I think I have the same voices on my iPhone, but we're going to get into it here. And a lot of times someone will come in and I'll be working with them, excuse me, and they'll have that old-fashioned robotic voice, either for Siri or for VoiceOver, usually for VoiceOver. And it's just an older style. They have much nicer voices now. It's very robotic. It doesn't have any inflection. And so they have much, much nicer voices now. And so that's what we want to show you guys, how to set one of those nicer voices. So let me wake mine up here.
1:11 p.m. One notification. Messenger.
Okay, so I've got VoiceOver turned on. First things first, let me turn off VoiceOver.
VoiceOver off.
And now I'll let you guys hear Siri. What's the weather today?
It's currently cloudy and 48 degrees.
So you hear that, excuse me, you hear that the voice sounded very natural. It had some inflection. He sounded like a happy guy, you know? So that's one of the new voices that we have for Siri. Now I'm going to turn VoiceOver back on so you can hear that voice. And it did turn on. I don't know why it didn't tell me, but so if I tap this section here,
Lexington, mostly cloudy, chance of rain, 0%. The weather channel, 48 degrees, 48 degrees / 36 degrees.
and so once again, much more pleasing voice than that normal robotic voice. So real quick, I'm going to show you my iPad here and let you listen to this voice.
Shortcuts, translate, magnify, seeing AI, digitize, YT Studio.
So on my iPad, I have one of the voices with the British accent. I think that's British Daniel, I believe is his name. And I like that guy on there. I don't know why I don't have him on my iPhone. But let's go in and let's talk about how to get these new voices. So both of these Siri and VoiceOver voices are going to be in these settings. So we need to jump into settings, open settings.
Settings.
And there you go. Another use for Siri. I just asked Siri to open the settings. And I was long pressing the button on the right side of my phone to trigger Siri. I don't have Hey Siri turned on my phone. So now I'm just going to go down to Siri.
Apple TV, airplane mode, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, cellular, notification, sounds and focus, screen time, general, button, control center, display and home screen, accessibility, wallpaper, Siri and search, button.
There's Siri and search, and I'm going to double tap.
Ask Siri, heading.
Now we need to go down to the voice. So I'm going to swipe to the right to go down this list.
Listen for Hey Siri, press side button, allow Siri language, Siri voice, American, voice 1, button.
So Siri voice. Now, before we get to that,
language, English, United States, button.
The one right above that is language. So if you speak a different language, you can change the language for Siri. And there's a ton of languages in there to choose from. But I've got it set to English, United States.
Siri voice, American, voice 1, button.
Now I'm going to double tap into Siri voice.
Variety, heading.
And we have some different options here.
Selected, American, Australian, British.
So here are the different accents that you can choose. And that's British. That's where I got British Daniel on my iPad. So if you want a Siri that has an Australian accent or an Indian accent, you can choose one of those.
Indian, Irish.
Irish is pretty cool.
South African, voice, heading.
But
selected, voice 1.
Here are the new voices.
Voice 2, voice 3, voice 4, voice 4.
And that's it, 4 new voices. And these are the latest voices and just super high quality.
Voice
3.
I'm
gonna go back up.
Voice 2, selected, voice 1.
Voice 1 is the one that I'm using. And once again, this is for Siri. This isn't for VoiceOver. It's a male voice. Let's see what voice 2 sounds like.
Voice 2.
And I'm just gonna double tap on that.
Selected, voice 2.
Siri, choose the voice you'd like me to use.
So very nice, pleasant sounding female voice. Let's go to number 3.
Voice 3. Selected, voice 3.
Choose the voice you'd like me to use.
Another male voice, a little bit, sounds maybe a little bit younger.
Voice 4. Selected, voice 4.
Siri, choose the voice you'd like me to use.
And then voice 4, another female voice. So you have those options. Just by double tapping it, it has chosen it. So now if I go to Siri and I ask for the weather again, what's the weather?
It's currently cloudy and 48 degrees. Expect partly cloudy skies starting tonight. Temperatures are heading down from 43 degrees to 36 degrees tonight.
And there you go. So just a nice, pleasant female voice.
Selected, voice 1, voice, heading. South African, Ireland, Indian, British.
Let me jump in here real quick just to show you guys some of these options. I'm going to jump into British.
British.
Hi, I'm Siri. Choose the voice you'd like me to use.
And it just changes.
In progress. Indian, Ireland, select voice 2.
So now these voices have the accents. Let's see what voice 2 sounds like, just for an example.
Voice 2. I'm Siri. Choose the voice you'd like me to use.
So there you go. So if you'd like it to have an accent, you could pick the accent and then choose one of the voices.
Heading.
Sam, do you want us to hold questions until the end of your talk?
I was actually going to ask you guys if you had any questions about this specific one. That's it for Siri, and then we'll go to VoiceOver here in a second. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, let me know.
Yeah, could you play the Irish accent a second?
Sure. Let's go back up to that.
Siri voice, Siri answer, Siri and
Oops,
search,
go
Siri
down.
voice, variety, American, Australian, selected, Indian, Irish, Irish.
I'm Siri. Choose the voice you'd like me to use.
Didn't sound very Irish, but let's pick one of the other guys.
In progress, South African, voice, heading, voice 1, selected, voice 1,
Choose the voice you'd like me to use.
in progress,
I wonder if they're not downloaded.
voice 2,
Let's see what,
Is Siri voice will take effect when downloaded,
yeah,
54%
okay.
complete.
That's what it is. They're downloading. I've never listened to the Irish before, so.
Well, that's
Apparently-
fine. I have a more important question actually for you. I can't, you lost me way back. I can't find what you're looking for under settings. And I don't have VoiceOver on, but that's not my problem. I couldn't find it. Where am I supposed to find under settings? If you could go back to that.
Yeah, for this one, you're looking for Siri. So Siri has its own section under settings. It's below general
South
and
African,
below accessibility. If your iPad is fully up to date,
Oh,
that's where
I
it will be.
found it. Okay, Siri and search, and then
Right.
go to. and
Then go to Siri Voices is what you're looking for after that.
Siri. Oh, okay. Great. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, Marion, do you have any questions about anything? All right, we will continue on then to VoiceOver. So VoiceOver has very similar voices. And so once again, you can have the exact same voice. You could do the British male voice for both Siri and VoiceOver if you just really like it. Though for some people, I don't recommend that. Once again, they can get kind of confused about which voice is talking to them if they're the same voice. But let's go back here.
right, Siri voice, heading, Siri and search, back button, Siri and search, back button,
We're gonna go,
settings, Siri and search, settings, heading,
okay, we're gonna go to
wallpaper, button,
accessibility.
accessibility, button. Accessibility features help you customize your iPhones.
Because now we're going to go into VoiceOver settings. That's where we change the voice for VoiceOver.
Vision, voiceover, on, button, zoom, on, voiceover, on, button, voiceover, on,
Okay, we're in VoiceOver. Now we need to find the voices.
voiceover speak, tap once, double tap to learn more, voiceover practice, speaking rate, 50, speech, button,
Okay, speech, that's what we're looking for. Now, obviously, you can change all these speaking rate, all of that, the pitch and stuff, you can change those
voice,
things.
Siri voice 1 United States, button, pronunciations, button, pitch, heading,
There's the pitch.
pitch, 50, pitch change, on, detect languages, on,
Okay, so we're going to go back to the voice,
pitch, pronunciations, voice, Siri voice 1 United States, button,
and I'm going to click OK.
selected, English, us, heading, Alex, button,
So Siri, or excuse me, VoiceOver has a lot of the older voices available as well. Alex, Samantha's in here.
download Allison, download Ava, 534 MB, Fred, button,
So I haven't downloaded all of these, but you do have to download.
download Nikki, Fred, button,
Let's listen to Fred real quick.
English, us, heading, Fred, English, us, heading,
Yeah,
Fred,
Fred.
Selected Fred.
There's one of the robotic voices.
English us heading. Fred heading. Fred heading.
Okay, we have to listen to Fred for a minute here.
English back button. English. Selected Fred button. Download Ava 5. Selected Fred button. Download Nikki 1. Samantha button.
Okay, let's turn on Samantha just so we don't have to listen to Fred anymore.
English us heading. Samantha. Samantha enhanced using 145 megabytes. Actions of it.
Selected. Samantha, enhanced.
There we
Using
go.
145 MB.
So Samantha, it probably sounds familiar because that's usually what it's set to by default. And here's a great example of some people might not realize that even the default voice has been updated. So this is Samantha Enhanced. The old-fashioned Samantha
Selected. Samantha, enhanced. Select Samantha.
is this
Actions
one,
available. Selected. Samantha.
and it's not too bad.
Samantha, enhanced. Using 145 MB.
But it's still a little bit
Actions available.
robotic. So if I click on Samantha Enhanced instead, choose her,
Selected. Samantha, enhanced. Using 145 MB.
it just has a little bit more pleasant inflection, a little bit more natural sounding voice. So if you do like Samantha, fantastic, no worries there. But I would recommend going in and downloading the enhanced version. And a lot of these voices have an enhanced version available. Fred does not for some reason, but the only thing to note is that you will have to download it first. It doesn't come already on the phone or the tablet, but it just takes a couple seconds. And I recommend doing that over Wi-Fi if possible. Just download it, and then when you click on it after that, you can listen to, or you can use it.
Samantha, English, up, edit, button. Samantha, heading, English, back button, English. Selected. Samantha, enhanced.
And we'll just
button.
we'll just check out a couple more of these here.
Siri, button. Download Susan, 163 MB, button.
Now, one quick note, it says Siri.
Siri, button.
Siri is going to be whatever voice you have selected for Siri. So that's what I was saying. You can have the same voice if you want for both Siri and VoiceOver. But you have a wide variety here to choose from. I recommend picking a different voice.
Download Susan, 100. Download Tom.
There you go, Susan. You got your own
466 MB,
voice.
Button.
Yeah.
Download Victoria, 1.7 English, Australia, heading.
So then you get into the different languages, other languages.
Karen, button. Download Lee, 404 MB, button.
Let's hear Karen.
Button. English, Australia, heading. Karen. Download Karen, enhanced, 107 MB, button.
So there you go. Karen has an enhanced version. I haven't downloaded it yet. So let's just hear the standard Karen first.
Action selected, Karen.
So there you go. We have a British or
Download Karen
Australian.
enhanced, 107 megabytes, button.
And yeah, sounds very Australian.
Karen, heading, English, back button, English. Selected, Karen, default, button.
So that is the basics of choosing a different voice, both for Siri and VoiceOver. There's a wide variety in here, all the different accents. So, go crazy, really customize your phone. That way it doesn't sound like everybody else's phone.
Siri, button.
You guys have any questions about that?
No, but it's been really interesting. I didn't know how to do this, so I'm learning something. When it tells you how many megabytes that each one of these voices are, some of them don't have megabytes next to them. I guess they don't take up much room. But are those things that we should be concerned about adding on to our our storage? Is that a lot, or?
That's a very good question. If it doesn't list it next to it, that means it's already installed on the phone. Like the standard Samantha or the standard Karen, they're already on the phone. But if you wanted to get the enhanced version, yeah, you would need to download it. And that, yes, that may be something you want to be concerned about, but generally it's not a lot. I wouldn't recommend going through and downloading all of them. Obviously you could. I believe there's a way to delete it, remove it if you decide you're not going to use it. You can uninstall it, I guess, or undownload it. But even still, it's probably not going to be enough to really be anything to concern yourself with.
But you can't listen to them unless you download them. Is that right? To even test them out?
Yeah, that's the tricky part. That's the caveat to this. You have to download it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I'd say if you like the standard voice, then chances are you're going to like the enhanced voice too.
Yeah, I don't like my standard voice. I want to change it. So I'm going to have to play with this after we finish.
Yeah.
Point.
Let me see if I have an Irish one.
Download Susan, Siri, button. Download Tom. Selected, Karen, download Siri, Not English, India, Rishi, not it, Siri, English, Island, hit, Moira,
There
not
we
it,
go. We'll see Moira.
English, Island, heading, Moira. Download Moira, enhanced, 140, Moira.
Let's see how much that
Download
is.
Moira, enhanced, 114 megabytes, button.
I mean, 114 megabytes, that's definitely not a small file. So you wouldn't want to download, like I said, all of them. Maybe pick and choose which ones you want.
Moira. Selected, Moira. Download Moira, enhanced, 114 megabytes, button.
I see, I like the Irish accent. I might have to stick with one of those. We might download Moira. Let's go ahead and download her and see how long it takes.
Okay.
Stop downloading Moira, enhanced, 114 megabytes, button.
And it should give me an update here as
Download
it's,
Moira, enhanced, 114 megabytes, button. Download Moira, selected. Moira, enhanced, Moira, enhanced, using 114 megabytes.
So it's actually giving you a sample of what it is before you download it. Is that correct?
no, you do have to download it first, unfortunately. Yeah, let's see if it's done already.
Selected. Moira, enhanced, using 114 megabytes.
Yeah, it downloaded pretty quickly, and that's even with doing like Zoom over my internet, so it doesn't take long at all. So now we have Moira.
Moira. Selected. Moira, enhanced, using 114 megabytes.
That's not too bad, and mine's talking a little faster than some people would use their voiceover, but it's not too bad. I think we'll leave it with Moira. So the bottom line is you don't have to stick with that boring robotic voice. There's a lot of really nice options available, both male, female, different accents, and even different languages if you speak a different language. So jump in there, play around, see what grabs onto you. Some of these voices though, and I had this conversation with someone recently, that they take a little while to get used to. I had a voice on for VoiceOver, one of the Siri voices, the new male voices, and I just could never get used to it. I gave it a real good shot. I gave it a try for like a week or so, but it's just like something about his voice was bugging me. So I ended up changing to the other guy's voice. So, you might find that after a little while, you're like, no, let's try something different.
Okay, I have another question.
Sure.
What about maps? When you do maps, which voice are you getting for that? Or is that Siri? Or is that-
I believe so. I actually don't use Apple Maps. I use Google Maps, so I'm not 100% sure, but I think it is Siri. I think that's Siri's voice that comes through.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think Maps has its own voice, so it probably just uses, yeah.
But Google Maps has their own voice then, is that right? Google Maps?
That's a very good question as well. I don't know if I've ever paid attention to the
Paid any
voice.
Okay.
You're not supposed to stump me when we're recording stuff, Susan.
Well, there's always more to learn, right? There's always more out
There
there.
is. There is truly. I need to do it. Maybe I'll do an episode about Google Maps, because they have a new walking, I guess, feature you'd call it, where it will announce landmarks around you as you're walking. Just gives you a lot more information than it used to about what's around you, surrounding area. So very helpful for us when we're out
Yeah.
walking.
Great.
Yeah, might have to do that in the future.
Okay.
Okay, guys, well, stay on here. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, and thank you guys in the future. If you're watching this on our YouTube channel, I hope this was helpful for you. And as I said before, if you need anything from us, please feel free to reach out. The Bluegrass Council of the Blind phone number is 859-259-1834, or you send an email, info @bcbky.org. And then once again, check out our other videos on our YouTube channel. And of course, join us on or visit our website, bcbky.org. Thank you very much, guys.